Hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Schmittpost Sunday, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last over a year and counting, because the daily stream streak remains strong, I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for the next approximately 40 minutes for today's stream. It's a shorty. But before I begin the general Q&A, let me do a little bit of housekeeping. Lone Claw! Congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, Chest Factory, CD23, Dr. Wesker, Wandering, Sleepless Dragon, Legendary Doge, Puppet Boy, Amber, Philip November, Pixel Periton, Senior Researcher Alex, Dr. A Mask, everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here today, punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site 42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, Stephen, Scarlet, Junior Researcher HLG, Salted Flower, Bored as Hell, and Scorcher Hunter. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today just for being you. Now, a reminder that today's stream is sponsored by the Dr. Sherman Site Director Edition plushie. You have 10 days remaining to purchase one of these good boys before they are gone forever. This is a one-time printing of these adorable little Site Director beans. So get Dr. Plush while the getting's good. The link is pinned in the chat. The link is in the description if you're watching the VOD. Or you can simply go to beacons.ai/site42 and it will be there waiting for you. Head there to get your plushie before time runs out. Thank you to SCP Store for helping us make this a reality. And I guess before we get into the main event of today's stream, Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, is here to say hello. The sweetest pumpkin in all the Foundation has woken up just to say hello to you. And probably to get the treat that you promised her. Very good job, sweetie pumpkin. You enjoy that treat. Good girl. Puppy of Interest 42, dismissed. The kisses. The kisses. So, today's stream subject is quite simple. This is a Schmittpost Sunday, where we are just talking memes and jokes because I have very little time and I want to give you guys the fair Q&A. So we are not being serious business today. Instead, something very funny happened, and I'm going to share it with you, and you're all going to laugh in a mirthful fashion. Correct? Very good. So, yesterday, the SCP Anonymous Twitter account, somebody posted, Alto Clef the Goat, bruh. And I thought to myself, Alto Clef the Goat? Does that mean Alto Clef is ASGORE Dreamer from Deltarune? Some of you may recall, oh, what? I got here just in time for the flower crown. Wow, almost missed that. Very interesting. Thank you to Philip November for the flower crown that I just barely saved. Excellent timing. Now, as I was saying, if we are to look at my previous Schmittpost YouTube terms of service, my previous Schmittpost about Susie Deltarune being SCP-682 after the bad ending of Deltarune, you can go back to a previous stream, you will find the thumbnail, trust me. Susie Deltarune is 682 is very hard to find, to miss. There was a lot of backing lore there. If you go through the prophecy and Susie Deltarune's backstory, it became very easy to extrapolate that at the end of a terrible reality-bending endeavor where reality falls, Susie Deltarune could become SCP-682 in a bad-ending version. It's a great theory. You should go check it out in the previous stream. But today, no, I do not have that much evidence for this. And in fact, if you look at Dr. Alto Clef personnel file from the Foundation, you will notice there's no picture, because you can't even take a picture of Alto Clef. The anomaly always covers Ukulele Man's face. And if we look at a picture of ASGORE Dreamer, who we at least can look at a picture of, then we get this sweet man. This very delightfully cuddly Wait a minute. Why is it so small? I can't get a good picture because all the pictures here suck. My plan is foiled. Give me one moment. The memes will continue. Boom. Give me a decent picture of the goat man. There. At least we can actually see that. So if we look at an ASGORE, the closest similarity we can see is Dad Bod with flowery shirt and tussy, mussy hair and facial hair. Okay, this is a little closer to possibly being aesthetically Alto Clef. And hey, you know, he is a sad dad. And Alto Clef has the sad dad market cornered on the SCP database. I don't think Kondraki is nearly as sad dad as Alto Clef is. But let me show you one picture. Does that not read as clef coded? Does it not? Do you not see this and go, oh yeah, that's definitely Alto fucking Clef? Well, allow me to introduce you to proving it correct. Doofamet on Twitter, you have done the Lord's work. Everything is better in the world now that this exists. This is the thumbnail of the stream. You will be able to download it from the Twitter. It is incredible. Artist Doofamet, congratulations on your glory, your infinite glory. Even if you do not know what an ASGORE meme is, this is the best ASGORE Alto Clef meme. I know, you're welcome for me bringing this glory into existence by speaking it so, and you're welcome much, much more to Doofamet for actually making the thing. That was the more important part of the two. So yes. But of course, we could not be done with a simple photo. Because as soon as that was posted, there was a further inspiration that requires me to turn off the ambiance for a second. Give me just one moment, because you all know what's coming. Driving in my car right after a breach. Hey, that dude looks like a type green. Aim road stray, my ukulele is hanging right out the window. Little did you know, I'm the Gary Stew. I'm about to pound the humes out of you. Spotting that guy with my weird third eye. Do you like my song? Kabong! And that's all there is to it. I feel like my point is made. I feel like there's nothing else that needs to be said. I feel like on the power of Schmittpost alone, we have proved my case. Evidence? What's that? Facts? Who needs it? Logic? I don't care. This is fine. This is my headcanon for no good reason. Except for the good reasons that I just showed you. You're welcome. So, you're welcome for all of this BS. Schmittpost Sunday subject is complete. Welcome to the general Q&A. I am now going to look in the back channels at the many, many angry messages Desk has probably sent me, because I see 8 notifications. That terrifies me. And then we will move on. Oh, they're not all angry. It is wonderful. So, if you want to read the tales, if you want to read the tale, content warning, it's called A Suicide Note. Desk has shared that that is the tale that references Clef hitting a child with a car. Do the likenesses ever cease? Yes, they do. There are honestly not that many, but still golden. If you want to read the tale Icky and Ichabod on the SCP database, Clef would like to share that in that one, Agent Ukulele Era shoots a child reality bender, a child bender. What's worse than a child? A child bender! No! And then the photo that used to be on Alto Clef's personnel dossier before it was taken down for Creative Commons reasons. This is what it used to be. Yeah, see, I totally see the resemblance. For sure, for sure. Everybody in the chat is saying, I don't remember Clef hitting a kid in a car in the tale codename A Suicide Note. I would just like you to pay attention to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first line of paragraph 8 of that tale is, I still remember the first Bixby I killed. She was 12 years old. I had to run her over with a car. So, maybe you overlooked that, but there you go. Yes, it in fact did happen. Am I going to say that Bixby was December holiday? Maybe not. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. Who knows? But okay. That is our Schmittpost Sunday. Now let me catch up on the donations and get to the general Q&A, which will last approximately 24 minutes. Starting with the Ko-Fi notifications. Intern or researcher dumb person. Sorry, the Ko-Fi doesn't tell me if you're a member or not. If you are a member, thank you for your membership and service. Grab yourself a deviled crab on your way past the commissary And thank you again for using the Ko-Fi for your donation, as it only takes 3% of your donation as a service fee, where YouTube takes a 30% cut of your super chats. So we greatly appreciate you making donations through the Ko-Fi when possible. Hello, Dr. Sherman. I'd recommend keeping it down today. SCP-339 is around your area on site. I speak in all caps as I am translating from Wingdings. Also send help. 129-J is following me. Lastly, I'd like to cover SCP-2521. Wow, you took that dumb person thing right. You just did all the wrong things with your anomalies there to get yourself captured. My apologies for your poor circumstances. We will hold our funeral for you after stream. Dr. Vera Lovelace, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Thank you for making the effort to go to the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a big old berg on your way past the commissary. So, you know how we get paid pretty well? I was wondering what other researchers and bigwigs like you spend your money on. I stay on site pretty much 24/7, so I spend most of mine on gifts, snacks, books, and wine. Well, the thing about working at the Foundation, very similar to Star Trek, is in Star Trek, they don't need for material things very often because they are living in a space utopia where everything is manufactured uh, by the replicators. So they don't really need money, and so they just replicate what they need and then do fun things with their time. Play trumpet or oboe or clarinet, drink tea, and the like. Now, here at the Foundation, we have a lesser version of that because we are a top secret, non-governmental, but still militaristic organization. So we have our flat level of rations, food, entertainment from the Foundation. We're allowed to order out for some things that have to go through several warehouse depots before they can be brought to us, prized possessions, so to speak. Me, I usually use that for very good tea, very good coffee that wouldn't normally be on the ration list, very good anomalous beverages from time to time. I would say very good 420-J, but we already have that. So those are the kind of things. Consumables that I'm unable to get here is where I like to go, because I like to be able to share these consumables and their very good flavors with the rest of staff in return for good behavior. Philip November, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a quiche on your way past the commissary. Saw Project Hail Mary last night, wanted to see how the Foundation would contain the astrophage. I mean, the funny thing about that is everything the Foundation did there, or no, everything they did in the movie is what we would do. The question is only, can we do it ourselves as a worldwide secretive organization with advanced scientific minds? Or would we have to go into a broken masquerade scenario where we showed ourselves to the public and rallied humanity to the cause? That would be our situation, because otherwise they did everything successfully. Now, you could say that we wouldn't have to send just one spaceship in this last-ditch effort because we have more advanced technology. We could probably send a few more people, and we probably have much more of a willing mindset of folk to send, not so many squeaky cowards, because the Foundation is very devoted to this cause of saving civilization. So yes, I would say they got the rough details right if the SCP Foundation were to do it. The question is it public knowledge, or were we able to suppress it and keep it secret before we fixed it? Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they feel the love. Phil November, thank you again for that flower crown that I just barely caught during the meme segment. Mm, 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 mm. Doomslayer, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a T-bone steak on your way past the commissary. I accidentally released SCP-682. It is not a he, it is an it. It is an anomaly, it is not a person. Please practice proper pronoun protocols of the Foundation. Do not call anomalies he, she. They are not he's or she's, they are its. They are objects, not people. Get it right. Furthermore, it threatened my family. You're the Doomslayer. What the hell is this? You're gonna back down from a lizard. You have got a lot of gall. I'm glad you and that 682 are in a different universe where I don't have to deal with your weak tea self. Sheesh. Dean Cass, thank you for your 1 month as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hello all, working hard at my mortal job. Yep, I am heading over to, well, to wear this matching cap for my shirt. That was a very good look, Philip November. I appreciate the pomp and circumstance. Where was I? Got distracted. Yes, you're working at your mortal job. I'm working at my cover job later as well, which is why we have time check. 18 minutes remaining in this stream. Cool Man Fight, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself an Earl Grey tea on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I got good news for you. I got a new haircut, 5 millimeters short. And what's your favorite haircut? I'm having meat and pasta for dinner. So I'm proud of you for your haircut. I guess it being that short means it will be rather manageable, so that should save you time in the mornings, yes. And what's your favorite haircut? Well, I am pretty partial to mine. Fly style is in my DNA. And meat and pasta for dinner. I haven't decided what I'm having from the commissary later. I'll have to think about it. Not a Chaos Insurgency Spy. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some waffles on your way past the commissary. Also, intern Nikolai, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I challenged SCP-82 to a fight after a kid stole my fries at McDonald's after I ate red crystals. Please help. I ate all 47 red pills. I'm pulsing. It feels like some of you are doing the speed-running Scientology equivalent of the SCP Foundation. Which, by the way, do not speedrun the SCP Foundation. It's not going to go all light and fluffy like you're, let's all rush Area 51. They can't stop us all. Trust me. You will not like what happens if you get in range of the turrets here at the SCP Foundation. I'm just saying. Don't you dare. Rebel Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a side of bacon on your way past the commissary. Press to entertainment delete aspect of physics button. It's like all of the diseases in Mr. Burns' body getting stuck in the doorway so that they can't actually kill him. You have deleted all of physics, which means all that's left is what was being affected by physics, and it's somehow still working because it all can't delete itself at once. Interesting. I can't believe barely anyone mentioned the fact that the meme was about him killing a teenage deer girl, who is Clef's daughter, a teenage deer girl. Bored as hell, while that link is there and there is a related deer girl, do remember the deer girl in ASGORE's story is not his daughter. So I didn't, while there is a deer girl in the story, they are conflicting in that way. Which, by the way, part of the funniness of this scenario was that when I brought up this theory to Desk, who does not follow the lore closely enough, he did mention that 166 and Noel Holiday have been in fan art before, as have, once again, Noel Holiday and Mary. So those are cute arts. I don't know where they came from, but they are adorable, and you can probably find them and the artist on Google's. All right. Cool Man Fight, thank you for sending 5 Site 42 promotions to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. We appreciate your help in building the ranks of the green names to win the battle against the white names. Furthermore, if you got one of those promotions from Cool Man Fight, make sure you thank Cool Man Fight for their generosity. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again to say, my favorite coffee is Texas Cowboy Coffee, extra strong too. Favorite tea is blackberry tea. What's your favorite coffee and tea? So when it comes to coffee, you can't go wrong with an Irish coffee. You do not need to worry about the type of coffee if you worry about the type of Irish. Pro tip. For tea, I have a very obscure favorite. It is a blend from a shop in Florida I used to frequent. It's called Sucre, and it is a butterscotchy flavored white tea. Very good stuff. If you can get Sucre from the Tabella Tea Company in Tampa, Florida, you'll be very impressed from yourself. They do ship. Not sponsored, just quite delicious. Alki, thank you for sending a gold coin to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will purchase something of use on the way. Wandering by the Books, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a cronut on your way past the commissary. Could SCP-72... Oh! No! The shit! Scare the tree into screaming. It already has. You must have missed that lecture. It was a while ago. But Desk has already pulled this up for me, it seems. In the SCP, that abomination testing log, an entry was added. After that thing was brought close to 729, should have said it right. 4521, the tree began to emit vibrations that slowly grew the intensity closer it got. We placed it at the very base of 4521. It began to scream very loudly, not even stopping after taking a breath. And we honestly do not blame it. Of course we don't. It should be noted that even after the Eldritch Horror was taken away, 4521 kept screaming bloody murder and hasn't ceased since, so we reclassified it as explained. As Death says in the chat, Site 42 does not condone alteration or vandalism of SCP Wiki articles. On behalf of Dr. Sherman in the Site 42 chat, our inside jokes are for our little corner of the community. Do not mess with the database for that purpose. Now, for those of you who are shocked, it has eventually leveled down on the screaming, which means that we are now testing it again with something that isn't obviously such a hacks easy mode work. We knew that that thing was going to make it scream the whole time. It was obvious. Nothing can resist that abominable thing. So now we got to test things that will make it scream that aren't easy mode. Phil November, thank you again for that royal crown. It did sit heavy upon mine head, but I think it fit rather dashing, don't you think? Rebel Commander, thank you for donating twice more to say. Ethics Committee, if it can't be a he or she, use they. Nuh-uh. I was there for the Ethics Committee's The Foundation is Not Transphobic lecture. It's an it. Unless it is veritably important that we call it a he or she for some reason of containment reasons, such as if we call the anomaly the wrong gender, it will breach, such as with the Greek gods we have in containment. The Greek gods, especially Isaac, formerly Aphrodite. If we misgender Isaac, it will smite us. So in that case alone, do we use the preferred pronouns of an anomaly? Yes, DJ, unless we talk about the AEED, which I am not talking about because they are a small segment of the Foundation as a whole, not statistically significant. Do not misgender the anomalies. Exactly, B noises. Intern B noises, you're correct. You have to call them it. Do not misgender them by giving them a gender. Damn it. Aphrodite is trans, huh? Yes, SCP-953. The Isaac now, formerly the goddess Aphrodite, Aphrodite, SCP-7454. SCP-7454 is Isaac, formerly Aphrodite. You can go look into that yourself. Wandering by the books, thank you for donating again to say. Gotta love 729, the bathtub, not the abomination. You are correct. Well, you don't gotta love 729. It is a bathtub what kills you. It's a fairly simple anomaly. There's not much to love there. But it is worlds better than the Dash J abomination. I tell you this, it could very well be the best thing in the world compared to that Dash J abomination. Philip November, thank you for your second donation of today's stream, as well as the pretty pimp coat and crown. Gotta admit, you never would have thought to use that thing to make the tree scream. That's why you're so mad, because you didn't think of it first. That's not it at all. I had the test on the docket for months. The ethics committee wouldn't approve it. They just sat there slow walking me. And then the one time I go out of sight, I do not travel that often. I am hunkered down here doing the work. The one time I go on a field mission, then they approve the test and someone has to run it in my stead. That's why I'm pissed off. Get it right. Hello, Puppy of Interest 42 again. You have come for one more visit to the staff of the chat before the stream ends. I do believe you are here for this tasty treat. Such a long girl. Very good at catching treats because you are tall. You are small yet somehow tall. This is your anomaly. Being small yet tall. It does not make sense. It is anomalous. I am only joking. Or am I? Only research will tell. Very sweetie pumpkin. Sweetiest pumpkin of all time. Good work. All right, we are in the last 5 minutes of stream, Site 42 staff. So get your last minute of questions in. How's her eye? The eye that is non-functional is non-functional. That eye is genetically incorrect and will not heal any better than it currently is. But the other eye that still functions seems to be working well enough for her to get around. What the hell is that? What happened to my tabs? What happened to my chat? I am waiting for the chat to refresh so I can see what you guys are saying. Give me my tabs. Thank you. Thank you. I can see again. Sheesh. All right. Clarify. Paige Turner, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, and thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. We always appreciate the effort. Grab yourself a Orange Julius on your way past the commissary. I used to always miss these streams till just before the end. Lovely to have been here from the start for the last two. Lucky timing for you. Reminder that we stream every day, but there is no guarantee on what time we'll start and no guarantee on what time it will end. So, you want to make sure to hit that subscription bell here on YouTube if you want to be alerted to when we begin. And because that can sometimes be unreliable, if you are 18 or older, you are allowed to join the Site 42 Discord server, which is hidden in a secret location. But if you are able to find and join it and prove your worth, then you are able to get the live alert role for YouTube streams, which I ping at the beginning of every stream, which is a little more reliable. Thank God SCP is not real. Everyone would be dead if it was. Well, the authors on my higher pataphysical level than me agree, because there are so many world-ending anomalies. The multiverse itself would probably be extinct right now if this existed on a higher pataphysical narrative level than us. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, "A curse upon you, and I damn you to be tormented by Chuckles the Clown." Chuckles the Clown. Any relation to Bobbles the Clown? Bobble? Bobble, not Bubbles. Bobble the Clown is not plural, but Chuckles the Clown seems to be. Chuckles the Clown refers to several distinct characters, most notably the iconic Mary Tyler Moore Show character. I don't think you're talking about the Mary Tyler Moore Show, are you? Which Chuckles are you talking about? Everyone's very excited about not Chuckles, but then they are also not telling me which Chuckles. How have you been? What happened to Detective Void? Intern Silva. A, I'm doing quite well. B, a couple of years ago now, Detective Void apparently quit the SCP community and making YouTube videos at all. Now, does this have anything to do with me beefing with Detective Void about the quality of their work, as well as many in the SCP community doing so? They didn't mention. I know myself and Radiger both ragged on Detective Void's quality of work and shared our frustration with it not being of a high enough caliber for what they were capable of. What they claimed as they closed out is that they didn't want to make scary things for children anymore, which was a weird flex when all of your content was even clickbaitified, even scarier than what the actual SCPs were. But they claimed, we don't want to make scary things for children. We find that to be morally bad. So we're going to change gears and we'll come back soon. But then, they never came back. And furthermore, it was reported to me recently from a member of the Detective Void fandom who was very disgruntled with the behavior of Saraton Media, the parent company of Detective Void, as well as several other YouTube channels in that content farm family. Apparently, Saraton Media is closed now. If you search up their business headquarters, the whole company is defunct. So I'm wondering, I don't know what happened with that. They never said anything ever again after leaving. So we don't actually know what happened, but apparently they are kaput. Philip November, thank you for donating in to say, Chuckles is a creation of the Legends of Aventris group. Okay, you're talking about the Aventris group. I'll look into that. I saw that on the thing. I can check it out very, very quick because we're 1 minute over right now. Understandable. Didn't know you guys had beef, but I'm glad you're still doing well. Love your old TikTok videos. Lots of love. Well, thank you very much, Intern Silva. Yeah, I didn't hate them as much as just they made the cheapest videos they could fly by night. And even more so, that's the same problem I have with the rubber. SCP Explained and Dr. Bob are less egregiously bad than the Rubber and Detective Void were. Both the Rubber and Detective Void are dead channels now. And then Bob and explained are still around. So you got that going for you. At least the better of the set survived. But more importantly, Detective Void was very, very picky about protecting Detective Void from being Creative Commons with the rest of the SCP community, despite Detective Void only really focusing on the SCP community and interacting with it, almost making Detective Void an SCP lore character, but then even copyright striking people who reacted to their videos, which if you're making copyright strikes on Creative Commons reactions and fair use, I got a real problem with that. That was a big problem. Okay, Evantris, real quick, because I got to get out of here. Once upon a witchlight, you've cursed me to be frustrated by Chuckles the Clown, a space clown. Clown makeup and a bowler cap. Oh, I think I remember the bowler cap. Isn't it a bowler cap of holding? And that's where all the objects come from? Well, I've already dealt with enough anomalous clowns between Bauble and the Cthulhu-esque clowns of Herman Fuller Circus that are disquieting. I'm sure I'll find a way to survive. Lastus Darkness, thank you for your first donation right at the end of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some fish fingers and custard on your way past the commissary. Hey, Doctor, what can you say about the Minecraft series Searching for a World That Doesn't Exist and the sequel Destroying a World That Doesn't Exist and Durlord himself? I can't say anything because I don't know anything. I recently came across this video in my feed and I started to watch it, but I was busy that day and not enough happened for me to really cling on to it and see if there was something to figure out. I don't know the deal. I have no answers for this, unfortunately. Maybe someone can give me a rundown that tells me there's something worth looking into as an SCP Foundation researcher. Because right now, I don't understand the anomalousness of this Minecraft series. All right, one last check here because Site 42 staff, we have made it to the end of stream. And as I do at the end of every stream, I tell you guys what my favorite SCPs are. Of course, I'm not going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be cheating, sheer narcissism. But if you want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can read the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're on my author page, one tab over, you'll find a list of links. Links that I may have hinted at earlier in this stream you need to find somewhere. Are you clever enough to find the link? I believe the Containment Hazard Assessment Team will be. And while you're at those links looking for hidden treasures, I hope you will become a Patreon patron or a YouTube channel member of Site 42 there as well. Or if you want to donate one time at a time instead of a donation monthly, you can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat there. Either way, direct donations are the quickest way to help us out, keeping Site 42 afloat for myself, Desk, Agent Goose, the Animal Squad, and the rest of the Site 42 team. Also, you can purchase this limited edition Dr. Sherman Site Director Edition plushie at the link available in the chat or the beacons.ai/site42 support beacon. 10 days remaining to get your plush. Last chances are few and rare. This is where they are. Either way, if you can directly donate to Site 42, we appreciate you supporting the channel. But if you can't directly donate because you're part of the broke gang, do not fret. Starving artists are a hallmark of any arts community, and the SCP Foundation is no different. You can still help us out by being an intrepid and mighty warrior for Mobile Task Force Site 42, codenamed the Signal Booster. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, make clips of our streams, edits, do the memes. Those memes from yesterday, all of the Shermanly memes, you could be sharing those everywhere. These things you do to create virality, not just for Site 42, but you also have to do it for the SCP projects we support. The SCP Wiki, with its authors and artists and all of their tales and articles and stories and art. You do it for the filmmakers, the merch makers, the podcasters, the animators, the game devs. When you are a viral soldier for the SCP community, you are helping us gain engagement, get eyes on it. Some of those eyes will not be broke, gang. They will have the money, and they will be there to help build these projects up so that these Creative Commons teams, who cannot be supported by a big corporation because they're afraid of the Creative Commons, they can instead be supported by the community at large. So we thank you so much for your service in helping us with this matter. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it is a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, content warning on the last one's a rough read. Site42 staff, this has been another Schmittpost Sunday, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. When you're dueling with the night and you can't survive the fight 'cause the shadow mantles might face you rapidly, I've an engine that still runs, roaring night, I'll get her done with the force to crush your rising star. Don't forget, I'll hit you with my car. The credit song is ASGORE Runs Over Des by Rec D. Be safe, be well, Site42 staff. And as always, secure, contain, protect. I will see you in the next video or stream.